Welcome, everyone to the finals of this hackathon. Let me get the reaction button. Let me see how excited we are for today's show. It's about to go down. So, guys, this is going to be a very interesting one. And I want each and every one of us to be fully active, to fully participate, to fully commit to actually, having fun in today's finals. And I'm sure each and every one of us are going to walk out of here smiling, happy, probably joyful, who knows, or how, very lovely this whole thing is going to run out and play out. Thank you so very much. All right, so let's get this started. I'm Fortune by name, a cybersecurity specialist here with Amdari, and good morning, good evening from wherever you're joining us here today. And welcome to the final day of the Amdari Hackathon 2026. I mean, this is the first of its kind. This is the first edition. We are so happy and delighted each and everyone here with us. But before we get started, right, take a moment, and look around the room, right? Look around the meeting that we are. The people that you see here are not just participants, they are, should I call them survivors? Out of over 300 people who stepped into the arena to actually play this hackathon, we only have 10 people here today. I mean, guys, how crazy is that, right? 310. I mean, that is a lot of people. And these are not just, 10 people. These are 10 people who personally refused, to quit when the clock was ticking, and when the systems were locked, or when there was a network issue or, system issue. These are not those people that just said, oh, this is quit over that. These are the people that actually pushed on despite the pressure and when it was at its peak. For over 12 hours, if you're just joining us, this final went through, should I call it war? Not among themselves, by the way, okay? But among, some of the most demanding cybersecurity challenges, that we could put together for each and every one of you guys throughout the 12 hours that we had over the weekend. From red team operations to active defenses, this is not just a small clue. But let me just tell you something. Today, we close it and wrap it up this evening. Get to find out who takes home the cash prize. But most importantly, today we recognize what the future of cybersecurity looks like and, how it looks like for everyone in this room today. I don't want to bore you guys, right? But the Amdari's Hackathon 2026 was built on a vision, and that vision is that the next generation of cyber defenders and cyber, attackers have and deserve a real stage, real real recognition. And now that vision belongs to our co-founders, Omomi, Efe, and Adeize. Everyone, everything, please, I want to see some reactions because these guys have been supportive. They have made sure that this event actually holds despite the whole front and back, right? The team will understand what I'm trying to say, but they ensure that they saw to the end of this whole event, which we have here today. Everything you experienced over the last 12 hours exists because of their belief that we are ready to host the next generation of cyber professionals and experts. And then to ensure that tonight goes smoothly, to ensure that everything actually runs smoothly, we have our judges here with us. These are beautiful, brightest minds in the industry. And trust me, you would actually want to meet them. We have a session where we'll still introduce them, but just to just let you know who are our judges. We have 3 judges here with us that are going to be serving as tonight's judges. We have Jess, we have Shiva, as well as Abimbola. These are going to be our judges today. Please let's celebrate them with a round of applause or with love emojis. Whatever emoji that you feel is your favorite, please let's just send it across because these guys, for them to sacrifice their time, sacrifice, Probably there could have been other things, probably work or something else, but decided to show up today to ensure that they serve us as a judge tonight. So is this evening or this morning, wherever you're joining us from, it's mind blowing. These people, they actually understand this field, not just in theory, but in practical. But last but not last but not the least, to wrap things up, we'll give a very big shout out to our partners, right? And to their co-founders for making this also a reality. And to our co-founders with our partners, Abimbola, Adenike, as well as Ayobami, we say thank you so much for this experience and for making this very, very much possible. So finalists, right? We are here. This is your moment, right? Judges, this is also your moment. We trust your eyes, we trust your instincts. And to everyone watching, pay close attention. The best is happening right now. So let's get into it. Shall we? Thank you so much. Hi, Omomi. Are you with us? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hello, Fortune. I'm very well, thank you.
Nice to have you here with us. Omomi is one of our co-founders here at Amdari, and I'm sure everyone will love to hear from you and love to meet you. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Fortune, and thank you, our judges from JSA to Shidam. It's a pleasure to have you guys do this with us, and we believe that at the end of the presentation from the participants, we're going to have the deserving winners walk home with the cash prizes. But thank you all so much for doing this with us. And before we get into the presentations, before the judges get to also do their thing, I would love to quickly do a presentation and introduce you guys to Amdari and why we are doing this today. Now, it's very important for us to know why this means a lot to us and why we're even here, right? So permit me to share my screen just real quick. So I'll just walk us through the amazing work we do at Amdari so that you know where all of this is coming from. We decided to host a global cyber hackathon. Why did we decide to do this? Is there something we saw and we felt the need to get more people into a system, right, that helps them build hands-on experience? Definitely there is a reason. So we didn't just do this just because we want to do it, right? We did this because we've seen how this has helped our interns in the program, and we know that if we open our doors to more people, we might just have a whole lot of other people who would be taking, who would benefit from an initiative like what Amdari is doing. Do this than hosting a global hackathon. Now, real quick, yes, as you see on my screen, the game-changing shift that has helped our interns land tech jobs across the UK, US, Canada. That is exactly what the conversation is about. But before I go straight into all that, let me introduce myself. My name is Omowumi Victoria Samson, one of the co-founders here at Amdari, like Fortune already rightly said, and also Wise Bakari Bishop, and also the Chief Technology and Business Officer right here. Now, I have experience as a software developer. Then I transitioned into product management and later business analysis. But trust me, that transition was fueled by curiosity, like every step of the way. I always want to do more. I always want to influence decisions, be at the stage where we can really say, this is why something is not working, and this is why we should do it this way. Judgment as well as problem solving, that was something I was passionate about. And I wanted to be able to do that more towards me transitioning into other fields, right? And that really helped me perform in the capacity that I want. And here we are today. Now, at the very start of my career, just like everyone else, you take a course and then you start wondering why you're not getting the job. Then you realize that, is it that there is something more that I need that I'm not getting yet, right? And it becomes clearer and clearer. There is actually something more. So the traditional edtech company or system rather doesn't equip you with job readiness skills. It only introduces you to the basics of that field. So no matter how in-depth the course is, I promise you, there is more you can learn and gain when you get hands-on So the traditional EdTech system, of course, will do its part to even go through that stage. For you to become anything, you need to start with a training. I want to become a nurse, you have to go to school. I want to become a doctor, you have to go to medical school, right? The same thing with transitioning into tech. I want to become a tech professional. You have to move into a training organization that will help you gain that knowledge. But when you get into that system, they tell you, oh, part is in high demand. Recruiters in the UK are hiring for SOC analysts. Recruiters in the US are hiring for cybersecurity analysts. So trust me, when you take this course, you get the job. But it doesn't happen like that, right? And then you start wondering, did they lie to me? They did not lie, just that they were supposed to tell you that after this training, you will like a bit more, right? But when they tell you that there is that limitation with the edtech system, you might start looking for the one that will just give you everything all at once. That's why most times people would say, oh, training companies lied to me. They did not lie. But mind you, Amdari is not a training organization. Amdari is an internship platform. So Amdari is a platform that helps you gain real world experience through internship. So here you come to practice. And it's not like you're just working. You can see that for this global hackathon, we went as far as the grades, right? So for us to do that for just hackathon, you can already imagine how far we go, the actual internship. So we always partner with organizations across the UK, US, and Canada to ensure that our interns are able to build actual real business, or rather solve real business problems. So it's not simulation. And guess what? You don't do this alone or in isolation. You do this in teams. You do this with people. So the internship program at Amdari covers the career paths that you see on my screen right now. Now, because everybody here is a cyber person, that is why I will just focus on these three that you see. SOC and threat intelligence, cloud and app security, GRC, as well as ethical hacking and penetration testing. We focus on this career path, and you have professionals like Fortune, you have professionals like Tofa, that's Christopher Asian on the call. We also have professionals like, let me not say professionals, let me say specialists, because each of them specializes in one of these, and that is the level of detail that we give into this. We don't say, oh, a cybersecurity generalist should take a GRC program, should take an ethical hacking intern, or should mentor or lead a SOC analyst. You have to be a specialist in either of these for you to mentor our interns. Back in similar day, we don't have full stack web development as part of our courses or programs that we focus on. Not courses now, let me just say programs, right? So in case you have loved ones that might be interested in something like this, that is why you see me present the other career paths. But for the sake of those on the call, these are the cybersecurity specializations that we focus on. Now, I didn't build Amdari alone. We have Ifemena Ipro, one of the other co-founders here at Amdari, who was able to also key into the vision like every one of us. And we said, you know what, especially when you migrate to the UK as a Nigerian, whether on study visa or dependent visa and the likes, please, can anyone see my screen? Because Amir says he can't see my screen. Fortune, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can loud. Yeah, it's clear. Bello, please, if you can refresh from your end, probably, but it's all clear. Please proceed a moment.
Yes. All right, thank you. So, if a man relocated to the UK on study visa, and guess what? After his program, of course, he got his PSW visa on that. But in the season of being on that graduate visa, one thing he did was to build professional experience in the data field. That's because he was working in a warehouse at that time. People in the UK will relate to this. When you just relocate, honestly, if you don't build professional experience in that field, you would work menial jobs. And as immigrants, we have this amazing work ethic that can help us thrive anywhere, any day, anytime. So why survive when you can actually compete, right? Why be okay with the basics when you can put yourself at that level where you can also compete? And the only way you can show this is when you are truly skilled, right? When you are truly skilled, that is the only way you can show that you have this actual value to offer, because recruiters care about people that have value to offer. So if a man was able to build experience through internship, So you see where I'm going to. This whole idea of Amdari was vetted from a place of familiar people. I did internship myself before I was able to land my first tech job, right? It was an unpaid internship. And that's the same. And right now, Ifemena has gone on to work with organizations across the UK as an AI and data contractor. He has worked with Evelyn Island. He has worked with TISA UK, just to mention a few. And he has helped over 3,000 professionals transition into tech through training and work experience that you see at Amdari, right? Amdari does not do training, we just focus on work experience. But if Emena's work spans across training and work experience, and he's currently based in Alberta, Canada. Then, last but not the least, our amazing Adela Suleiman, right? I know that Fortune said Adisa. Fortune, you need to learn to pronounce that right. It is Adeza Suleiman, and he is currently based in Alberta, Canada. Similar to everything else I have said, located to the UK on study visa, built work experience, built skills that made him stand out and made it easy for him to add value and show recruiters that I have a lot to offer. And of course, he has gone on to work across organizations in the UK, US, as well as Canada. And thank you very much. Tofa, do you want to say something?
No, please, ma'am. Please go on.
Right. So, not to take too much of your time, what do you stand to win tonight? You already see that we have great judges in the house and they will be judging your work. And the judgment is going to determine where you fall on this that you see on my screen. Are you going to fall in first place? Are you going to fall in second place? Are you going to fall in third place, fourth place, or fifth place? Now, first place is walking home with 500 US dollars and also Amdari scholarship. When I say Amdari scholarship, I mean you get to intern with us for free. You get to be part of our internship program. And that's for 4 months, right? And I'm not talking about an internship program that is based, I'm talking one that has helped our interns land visa sponsorship jobs in the UK. Then second place is going home with 300 USD and also Amdari internship, 4 months internship with us. This internship is also not just work experience. It is you having your CV revamped, you having your LinkedIn optimized by employability team at Amdari, you getting reference letter that backs up your claim of work done. All you need to do is make sure you show up and get the work done. We can easily vouch for you when we know you invested your time and energy, right? As well as the third place that will be going home with 300, or rather 200, we scratch 300, 200 US dollars and also scholarship. Then fourth and fifth place would have access to CV Matchly. It's an AI partner that we have. I'm that partners with amazing businesses. That you can just trust me on that. CV Matchly, you can check them up on Google. It's an AI platform that helps you know if your CV is a perfect match for the job you're about to apply to. That's one. Secondly, it helps you know from the job board if the company is sponsoring. So if the company is sponsoring, you would already know. You don't need to do Boolean search on LinkedIn. You don't need to copy and paste and check companies on the list of register of licensed sponsors. That's on gov.uk. You don't need to go through all of that stress. It's a long process, and this is 2026. And we have amazing thinkers, innovators that are making life easier. And Amdari partners with people like this because Amdari is also very innovative. So we need to work with an amazing and innovative platform that also makes life easy for everybody. So this is the winning. This is what you stand to gain today at the end of the day. So how much of work have you put in, right? How much of effort have you put into what you're doing? So I'll just be done in like 5 minutes and then I will hand over to you so that you all can start your presentation. Now, I would like you all, if you're not following Amdari yet across social media, to please do so. My colleagues are on the call. They will drop the link for you to follow us. Part of the winning criteria is also us verifying if you are following Amdari, right? We would like you to be in our community. We would like you to be in our ecosystem. We're building a community of professionals that are serious about building skills. So if you would like, yes, it is recorded. So if you would like to have the recording of this, Also fill the attendance form that my colleague will drop in the chat shortly. But please ensure you follow our page so that you can be part of the community of great professionals that we are building. Now, please, I want you to have a mindset shift before I hand over to the people who will finish up the session. The mindset shift is for you to understand why that job you see on the job board exists. We would apply to jobs and wonder why we don't get the job. We apply to jobs and assume that the reason why we are not getting the job is maybe village people, African mentality, or maybe village people, or maybe you're just so unlucky, or for whatever reason. No, that's not the case. Before you start beating yourself up as to why you didn't get that job after you applied, ask yourself this question or think like this. Why does that job exist on the job board? It's because the company has a challenge, right? The company has a system inefficiency. It can be that the process is broken. It can be that the team needs support. It can be that growth is happening and they need people that can help them get to the next level. It can be that they are building a platform that deals with user data and they need the system to be protected, right? That's where cybersecurity professionals come into the picture. So if that is the case, are you that person that can come in and solve the problem or add to the problem? By solving the problem, it means you already know exactly what to do, judgment-wise. You've done it before. You can immediately tell, right, that this is what I have to do to fix this. And you can even provide solution in meetings and conversations to the stakeholders so that they think in a particular direction. But guess what? When you've only taken a course, right, fresh out of boot camp, and you immediately start applying to jobs, do you have the exposure that can even help you think the way they want right now? No. Do you already think at that level that they want you to perform? No. Guess what? You would come in to start figuring things out. And you figuring things out only means one thing. It means you're coming to add to the problem. Remember, system inefficiency is why that post is out there. Remember, they need support and the likes. That's why it is out there. So can you provide that support or do you need support? Oh, I just took a course, so I still need to understand what's going on. I still need to catch up. I still need to, you are coming to add to. That's what I hear. I have to support you. I have to monitor your work. I have to micromanage you. That is not how companies go. So you see, maybe 2, 5, 10 years ago, companies are okay with hiring like that. Oh, but right now, it doesn't work that way. So the expectation is very, very different now. All you need to do is to take yourself to the level where you can meet these companies at the point of their need. So don't try to beat yourself up and say, oh, why am I not getting it? Are you at that level where you can operate how they want you to? So if it's a no, you won't get that. Your CV will not speak to you being a problem solver. That is why we did this internship program at Amdari, and that is also why we said, let's get more people to be aware of this through this cyber or rather global hackathon. And the other beautiful part is when you have experience like this, you are able to speak with context and clarity in interviews. So this is just like brief. Because of time, I would not be able to talk too much. But this is just like tip of the iceberg, especially when it comes to the part of Amdari community. It has its perks, it has its benefits. I mean, you just interacted with us for 2 days and we're already talking, giving out 1,000 USD in cash prize. And then in internship, do you know what that means, right? So our interns go on to graduate, and graduate is not the word, but let me just use it for the sake of the conversation. They go on to landing roles across the UK. Darlington is one of them. He got a job as a business analyst. But because you guys are cybersecurity analysts, right? I'll play one video and then I just come back so that you guys hear from someone who was part of the internship program at Amdari and he got exactly what he was here for. Sponsorship job, a job that sponsored him in the UK. So let's listen to him for just 2 minutes.
Thanks so much, Pedro, for doing this with us. And congratulations on landing the cybersecurity. Is it SOC or what's the job title?
It's OT security specialist, but more of OT security. So it's cybersecurity, but in operations technology.
Amazing. And it came with visa sponsorship, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me do some confetti, imaginary confetti. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. So I would like to know how your experience, right, the work experience at Amdari helped you go from being a job seeker to becoming job ready, right? From the mentorship to the project. How did the work experience help you go from being a job seeker to being job ready?
Okay, so for starters, in my IT career, I've been more of a lone wolf. I like to study on my own, do my certifications. But moving to the UK, I realized that I had to change. I knew I needed some form of mentorship. And that's how I stumbled into Amdari. And yes, the program helped. It provided some guided mentorship that helped me determine the road that was suitable for me and how to navigate to the next chapter. I was already in employment, but I knew I needed to pivot. And yes, the Amdari experience was very important. And it contributed to me landing this new role.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, Pedro. So what specific aspect of this internship would you say helped you ace your interview?
Okay. For starters, Amdari helped. They have several services. And I think the very first one I opted for was the CV rebuild. That is very, very important. And after the session, my CV got a lot better. I knew I was getting a lot more interviews, but I was really picky about the companies I wanted to join. So the CV rebuild was very, very good. And when I did get called for this interview, they also helped with interview preparation sessions. That was very good. That's put me in the right place to answer, to predict questions that were going to be asked, and that really helped to land the role. Then the experience with Amdari was amazing. We had, I was in the SOC analyst cohort. We dabbled into several projects, ranging from SIEM analysis, we're building VMs and doing malware analysis. And yes, I mentioned that during my interview, and yes, it really did help.
All right, let's come back here. So please give me thumbs up if you get everything said. Thumbs up, thumbs up. I saw a lot of reaction from Agapi David, and I hope you're one of the leaders because I like your energy already. So yes, as I was saying, right, that's just a beautiful thing. And if you live in the UK, you would understand how important it is for immigrants to have jobs that sponsor them, right? It helps you stay longer, it helps you work, and it also makes it easier for you to stay up until when you can get ILR. That's ILR. What's it called now? Visa. So that's the beauty of this. Now, I'm skipping this, I'm not playing any video. So these are just more and more people like him that have gotten jobs. This is Sandra. You can check her out on LinkedIn. She was a GRC analyst with Amdari, got a job as a data protection paralegal in the UK. This is a screenshot from her LinkedIn. This is also Judith. She got a job as a data analyst because she interned under that. This person got a job as a project manager. All of them. Now, for you to be a part of Amdari internship, you would get interview preps. That's why it's easy for them to get a job. The interview prep is with a panel of our employability team, where they get to let you know exactly what you're doing wrong or right. So it's about you being prepared before that opportunity comes knocking. So you see the brief I spoke about earlier about how you need to position as a problem solver, blah, blah, blah. That's just a tip, right? If I decide to say, let's talk about it, we would go as deep as possible. So the next cohort of our internship, in case you are not part of the top 3 people that get the internship opportunity today for free, right? In case you're not part of them and you would like to be a part of the internship program at Amdari, then please note that we have a cohort starting on the 11th of April. Now, the enrollment fee for Amdari is very, very easy. How the program works is you get to learn on the job, and we package your experience by revamping your CV, optimizing your LinkedIn, as well as helping you prep for interviews. Then we give you reference letter and also apply alongside yourself. We have something we call the job application script. That's where people like Fortune, Jato, Christopher would work with you to apply to jobs, right? And it's just them guiding you pretty much. And then you're able to apply, and we watch from there. We prep you for interviews the minute you get an interview invite, and that's how it goes. So it's a 4-month internship. This is what those top 3 guys would get. But if you are not part of the top 3, you can still get this by enrolling in the internship. So it's a 4-month program. You work on 5 to 6 projects within that space of 4 months. Each project takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks timeline for you to work on it. And these projects are from our project partners, right? Like I said earlier, we partner with quite a couple of businesses. One of them is those that, gave us the project that you guys are using for your hackathon today, right? So we partner with different organizations so that you have actual business problems to solve, not made up problems. And this makes it easy for you to have that proper hands-on experience. And you don't work alone, you work in teams. I'm sure you've seen a bit of that in this program. And then you do your presentation. You guys are going to be doing that also today. This is just like exactly how the program works. Just that with the internship, you have longer time, you have more projects, and you have meetings twice every week. And that comes with reference letter, that comes with revamped CV, that comes with interview prep, and a whole lot more. And we support you in different ways. And this is, I'm not playing her video because of time, but this is one of the people that got a job because of the reference you got from Amdari. We stamp your reference, we sign your reference, and if they need to call us to verify, we also send address, whatever it is they need. And you can see an example of reference request here. So Alabi David, they said you should calm down. I hope you gave this energy into working on your project, by the way. So this says Olayinka has nominated you to provide an employment reference for the application to Healthcare Island. And then, yeah, they'll send it to your group, Timlade. And this one says the above name has been offered a position as a systems analyst within your company. So for this person, it was a SOC role that he was applying to with an healthcare organization in Ireland, and they requested for reference before he got the job. But this person, he got this request after he got the job. So he got the job before they needed the reference letter from us. Now, the enrollment fee for internship at Amdari is £500, but it's Women's Month, which means you are able to gain access for £300, which
Hi, Christopher. Can you hear me?
Hello, Fortune. Yes, I can hear you. I think mom is next. Just got.
Yeah, most likely. All right. Pending when she comes back, I guess we can proceed to the next session. Right? You ready for us, Christopher?
Yes, sure, definitely.
All right, perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're thinking what?
No, it's fine.
All right. I mean, I hope our finalists are ready. Because in a matter of a couple of minutes, we'll be diving into, the finals itself, and our judges are also beautifully standing by, to ensure that they give, fair justice to the whole system. But before that, we'll just give like a summary of, the case studies, the challenges that participants had to, face over the weekend. So yeah, Christopher and I were the ones that came up with the challenges that you all had to work on over the weekend, and I'm so sure that you all had fun with the challenge. Christopher, do you want to give us within a minute, a brief summary of, what was the idea behind your own case study, and what was the fun catch that you actually found out from those people that submitted the report?
All right. So thank you so much, Fortune, and thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Right. The case study was definitely a very fun one. It was an Active Directory case study. I would love to present a slide. I will, go through this with a slide, but let me just confirm shortly. If Mom will join us one more time before I get started. Hi, Mommy. Are you there?
yeah, I'm here.
All right,
Sorry
it's a
about
moment.
that.
All right,
Yeah,
all
can you
right.
hear me? Okay. Yeah, so sorry, please. I'm back. So I'm just going to wrap up right now so that you guys can get started. But in case you have further questions, because I won't be able to take questions because of, why we're here. So what I'm going to do is My colleague is going to share a link for you to book clarity with us in case you have questions about the internship. But for those that would want to secure their support, so let me quickly show you. Like I said, I'm already done. So if you click on the link, that's the enrollment link that I'll drop now. Payment is very, very easy and flexible for the internship. It's £300 because of IWD. And for the sake of everybody participating in this hackathon, right, what we're going to do is we're going to extend the deadline till the end of the month. I want to believe this month gets to 31st. So if you secure your spot between now and 31st, because International Women's Day is over once the month is over, right? This is Women's Month. So I'm going to drop the enrollment link in the chat right now. And this is it. I'm sure my colleague would have also dropped it. Oh yeah, this is the enrollment link that I just dropped. If you click on that link, it brings you to this page. And right here on this, is it ethical hacking? Is it GRC? Is it app and cloud? Is it SOC? Select anyone that works for you, right? So once you select, click on apply here, and it brings you to this page. Then on this page, it is going to show you some more details. You can scroll down to read, or what are the tools I'll be working with, who are my mentors, these are some of them. So just scroll and check them out and click on apply now. Once you click on apply now, you will get redirected to this page. Now on this page, click on, and you can pay lesser than 200 or rather 300. You can pay 280 if you're paying one-time payment, and click on when you want to start, April 11th. If you want to pay 3 installments, select that. Click on proceed to payment. Once you click on proceed to payment, you will get redirected to this page. It's just a summary of your details, and it tells you when your next payment will be. So select I confirm my information is correct, and also select that you've read the terms and conditions. Ensure you read the terms and conditions. So once you are done with that, ensure you come to the, it will of course redirect you here to fill your card details. It's a Stripe platform, so ensure you fill your card details and click on pay, right? And that is all. That's how you secure your spot. Once you're done, it is going to show you a form for you to fill. It's very compulsory to fill the form. So I will be stopping here and handing over back to Fortune. But like I said earlier, you're not part of the top 3, and this looks like something you want to be part of. Ensure, use the link that I have dropped. And if you have questions that I am unable to answer on this call because of time, please book the clarity session. My colleague dropped it. You can see Amdari wrote. She dropped it, and it says calendly.com. Click on that, and we would love to have a conversation with you. Thank you all so much, and I wish you all the very best of luck in today's presentation. And we look forward. I'm still here, but just in the background, watching and listening. But I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you all so much for being very energetic and for being quite engaging. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. And good luck, everybody. Hi, Fortune.
Yeah, mommy. Our beautiful mommy, like we call her. Yeah, Amdari. Thank you so much for that, and thank you for gracing this occasion. All right. So guys, please, if you actually want to book clarity session, please, the link is in the chat box. So please make good use of that. You will get value out of your time, of your money, and of your energy. So right now, I and Christopher will be walking you through the 3 case studies that was actually drawn, by work done by people not long ago. And yeah, Christopher, please take the stage. The mic is yours. Please, a minute, so that we don't keep people waiting to get.
Definitely, my bro.
Right,
Hi, Fortune. Hi, everyone. Good evening. So I'll be walking you through the pen testing, which was a track 1 case study that has to do with the enterprise security assessment. Okay. So if you have any question, I would be taking the question in the end of the minute. All right. So if you did, this case study was for a fintech company called Rate, and yeah, the client is actually Rate, and this engagement was an enterprise security assessment executed through an intensive hackathon simulation, and Amdari were the consultant in this scenario. Okay, we had just about 12 hours to complete this project and also to submit with the reports too. Okay, so for the client is an internet-facing web and API has an internet-facing web and API services, and it is a financial processing systems, just like the name implies, RATE. It has a Windows-based domain environment and is a cloud-hosted managed platform, right? The business challenge, every business definitely has a challenge. So for RATE, the core challenges for RATE is that identity exposure, human attack surface, and environment complexity, right? Since it's a processing payment platform, it has what's a complex environment. And the unaddressed impacts are operational access, financial exposure, as well as reputational trust, which in cybersecurity, you know that trust is very valid and important. So the key project objective was to, to perform some reconnaissance, to analyze all available info to find potential opportunity for the security engagement. So after you've done your basic reconnaissance, you will definitely initial access, which I'll be breaking down shortly how this will definitely be like. So after the initial access, you get onto the internal domain, the Active Directory, and do some Active Directory reconnaissance and exploitation, and then escalate your privilege, as well as reporting your findings. Okay. The scope of engagement, some stuff were in scope, while there were some out of scope. Like for instance, the physical security. We don't want to go into rates to start attacking rates physically. So therefore, the what was in scope was the domain, definitely the domain, the rates.io domain, the web, the dev one username that was provided for the phishing simulator, as well as the environment, the Active Directory environment was also in scope. Okay. Now, this is the scenario or the starting point. You'll be provided with an email, which is this email right here. As you can see, dev1. I'm sorry, just okay. So you're provided with an email, dev1@rates.online, and that email is what you're going to be using to send a phishing attack to. If you send a phishing attack, the more interesting, the more enticing it is. You'll be getting a VPN access to the internal network for it to start all your attacks and enumeration on that network. That is the pen testing side of things. Okay. So the tools that we are allowed to use, we're allowed to use all the tools that you would be able to lay your hands on. For the phishing simulation, we're allowed to use GoFish, NGRock. For the enumeration, we're allowed to use Bloodhound and PowerView. For the post access, we're allowed to use Mimikatz, PSSX, as well as Metasploit. And then finally, reporting, whereby you use your Google Wall or screenshots. Okay, so there are some skills that we hope you learned, and you also picked from this case study on this from this track one project, which is technical skills. We also have analytical skills and also professional skills that we are hoping we definitely should grab. Okay, so for the assessment overview, we urge or wanted the participants to think like a real-world attacker, to identify how enterprise compromise. Begin with just minimal exposure, right? So just an email address that you have online can definitely breach a company, all right? And then to also leverage the participants about to urge the participants to leverage limited information effectively to understand how initial access is gained and to simulate how attackers definitely exploit small security gaps from dev1 email to getting access into the the internal AD network. And last but not the least, we urge participants to definitely navigate a complex environment strategically to understand the pathways that attackers take when moving through modern enterprise security environments. Okay, so that is it for the pen testing side. I'll hand over to Fortune, who will definitely take us for the SOC department. Thank you so much, Fortune.
All right. Thank you so much, Christopher. For the SOC parts, I don't want to bore anyone, right? I mean, it was pretty much interesting. To be honest, it was a very interesting one coming up with, and I'm sure you all found it interesting as well. So we'll be moving straight over to the next thing on the event. That is, hi Nafisa, how are you doing today? Good evening. Hello, Nafisa.
Hello, Fortune. Good evening. Good evening and
today?
welcome. I'm fine, Fortune. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this space. I'm sure we are all enjoying ourselves. I'm Nafisa Yakubu, a GRC analyst at Amdari, a GRC specialist at Amdari. I'm here to introduce our wonderful judges, and permit me to start. So let's welcome our first judge. Jess Freeman is he is a development engineer who has done well in this space. With Jesse as your judge, you know that you are going to be giving the best, right? Whatever you put in place for this is not going in waste, because our judges has gotten that experience, everything they need to assess you, and not downgrading your effort. So I'm assuring you today that we are going to be giving the best three and nothing short of the best three. And that does not mean that others didn't put on their effort. At the end of the day, at every competition you have, we always have people who comes first, and that does not mean that others didn't put on their best. And yes, let's go back to Jesse. Jesse is a development engineer who specializes in bringing compressed security issues amongst enterprises. He has done work for himself, and he is previously he has worked as a full stack developer and a test tester. So let's give a very sound welcome. Give that lovely emoji for Jesse.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here and see all the submissions.
All right,
So,
nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, Jesse. Welcome to Amdari Space. So let's go to the next judge. We have Shilvan Sharma. Shilvan Sharma is a GRC analyst, a GRC professional, a cybersecurity professional. He has done well for himself with expertise in different kind of frameworks. And I'm so happy to have him here personally, because what would you do if you see a brother? Since I'm a GRC specialist, so you're welcome, Shilvan. And let me tell you what Shilvan has done for himself. He specialized in audit readiness. He is he's good with cybersecurity assurance, and he has already worked risk-based strategies. Currently, he is into and he's actually running an MBA. Like he's running through an MBA course. So you are welcome, Shilvan Sharma. Thank you for being here. Now, this brings us.
Thank you for this opportunity. Looking forward to the presentation.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Now, let me introduce you to somebody Amdari consider very, very special. That does not mean our other judges are not special, but believe me, we always have this house that we go to when we feel like it's raining, because the door is always open. Why am I saying this? Is because this next judge that I'm going to mention is actually a partner. So we partner with their organization, right? So permit me to introduce Abimbola Adebite. I'm sorry if I murdered your name. He is a passionate security guard. So he referred to himself as a security guard because he has defended several applications. He's a defender. So he has done a lot over decades in developing security and in development security and operation. His expertise has cut across so many applications. He has done a lot for different industry, and you believe me, it's good. We are at a point where we refer to him as a cybersecurity leader. Currently, he is the director of academic partnership IS2 Toronto chapter. So please let me have that rounds of emojis, reactions for him. There's something that I always go to his profile on LinkedIn to read, and it makes me smile. He said he's a true thought leader, a mentor who lives deadlines, who loves the deadline and champions security by design. Please tell me who loves deadlines. I don't love deadlines, but this person says he loves deadline. And yes, so if you're going to like, oh, Amdari didn't give me that much time, why did they give deadline for this competition? Please don't be cross with us, because we have a judge who loves deadline, and we have to work with him. So we have to give you that as part of a gift that he's giving you, so that when you come to Amdari and you are working with us as one of the winners, or even if you don't end up being one of the winners and you still decided to come and experience Amdari, we are going to be putting you through deadline, and we are going to walk you through a kind of experience that when you go out there, you said, oh, before I joined Amdari, I was judged by Abimbola, and Amdari gave me deadline and I worked with it, and now I'm a professional. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and welcome to the 3 judges.
Thank you,
Thank you
Nafisa,
so much.
and the rest of the Amdari team. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, Abimbola. Good day. All right.
Welcome,
All right.
Abimbola. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet him too. Okay, everyone. So here's the moment I've been waiting for. Our judges are on the call. All right, you can see them. They're all pinned. So get familiar with these faces because they'll be the ones to actually decide who ends up winning tonight, this morning, or this afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. So I have the list of our top 10 finalists, and I'll be calling out their names, and then I'll be actually stating how they're going to go about the presentation. All right. So the goal of this presentation is to be able to also defend what you have worked on for the last 12 hours. All right. So you're meant to defend it. You're meant to show us that you actually did the work. You're meant to show us proof of concept, and you're meant to also show us that you have what it takes to be one of the winners tonight. You have 3 minutes per person to actually present and be able to sweep these judges up their feet to decide, oh, does this person actually have what it takes to be, our winner, or I'll leave that as that. All right. So we have Adams, we have Dorcas, we have Faith, we have Benjamin, we have Adekunle, we have Aziz, we have Lucky, we have Joseph, and we have Steven as our top 10 finalists. I mean, I feel like everyone should be excited, right? So please send in your favorite emojis, send in any emoji of your choice, just send it in so that we can get this whole show started. Hi, Dorcas. Good day. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Hi, Dorcas. Good evening. If you're on the call, please signify.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. And you?
Yeah, very well. Hope you're excited.
Yes, I am.
All right, perfect. I love that energy. Keep it up from now to the end of the presentation. All right.
Yes,
So, Lucas, the stage is yours. You'll be the first to present for us tonight. Should I say Ms. Force to be with you? Well, yeah, good luck to you. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, good evening. If you're sharing your slide, we're yet to see your slide.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Just a minute. Please, I'm so sorry, I'm coming.
All right, your time will start once you start sharing. Okay. Yeah.
Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, and there's a timer that I'll be reading as just let us know when you're ready. Are you ready?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Omiyale Dorcas, and I am a recent graduate of Amdari Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria. And so sorry. Okay, we are here now. I'm a recent graduate of Amdari Bello University, Zaria, Computer Science, and thank you for having me here. And I want to thank Amdari for making this opportunity for us to come and showcase our skills, and I want to thank our judges. So yeah, I have the table of, I'll be showing you guys the walkthrough of my solution, the 3 track I work on, and here I have the table of content, the track 1, penetrative testing, Active Directory assessment of the rates, domain from a single compromised account, track 2, SOC incident response investigation of the midnight swap, multi-factor attack using Splunk SIEM analysis. Then track 3, threat intelligence, phantom ID threats profile, and KYC bypass analysis. So track 1, my challenge: 1 credential full giving dev cred on rate AD admin goal. I was able, how far can an attacker reach from single developer account? This was the challenge we were given, and the way I was able to approach this, my challenge was: number 1, I was able to enumerate, I was able to escalate the report, the RD access, and the file recon, and the SMB LDL, and K browsing SYVL analysis, and the solution critical finding. So in this, first of all, I was able to use for the two I use, I was able to use Go fishing for it, but because of the environment for the Go fishing is not going to go, so I use NROC to utilize the attack, because using only Go fish cannot only work for it. So that's one of the tools I use, and other tools are actually listed there. And the key learning: the environment is one successful password crack away from full domain compromise. Although, and look at, I have some of my screenshots here. And the second track was incident response, the midnight swap. We have 3 simulations: attack, vectored overnight, phishing campaign, credential, midnight. So I was able to use my Splunk. The first of all, you can see from my first diagram here how I was able to upload we are given 2 files. We are given 2 log files. I was able to upload both the 2 log files so that I can able to investigate what I'm looking for. And during my investigation, I was able to get some stats. And first of all, and sorry, before that, I used my query. It's not that I just uploaded it like that. I was able to use my query to get some information I need from the users, because we have multiple users from the transaction, and from the authentication places. So I was able to get my information, and from this, my stats, I got 45 users click phishing link, and we have 80 credentials arrested and accounts taken. And we have over $11,000 stolen via structured transaction. And again, there's one particular user that was very free from all the attack, from the ransomware and other attacks. The user is Sandra. Her name was Sandra. So she was only user that was actually very free from all the attacks that was listed, that was in the system. And the key learning was automated post-login recon, login ban, KYC, confirm no human attacker tooling. And again, for my track 3, which is the threat intelligence. When it comes to threat intelligence, somebody has to be very smart. When someone is a threat intelligence, you have to be very smart. You have to try to protect an attack before the attack will occur. So in this challenge, this threat actor, this phantom ID is a threat actor that is using the deflect, lifeless, bypass, ghost list, synthetic identity, dog force to influence KYC on body. In this case, you see all these all these attackers, they are using AI to detect, to try to detect to steal credentials from users, to get files from the users, and they are trying to act like a woman, and when they are not human. So we have approach. So my approach, So my approach in the transaction log and the metric mapping. When it comes to metric mapping, you understand that it's a framework. We have a step-by-step step they are supposed to follow for you to actually analyze an incident even before it occurs. So I actually use this for my approach in this case. And one of my solutions, I was able to get the 3 red flags confirmed. Yes, on the device /IP clustering, I was able to get it, and the both prefix device and the ID 20 transaction. In this case, I use Splunk, but I use Python to get my information. I also did metro attack to get my framework, to know what to do, to know the steps to be taken, and to be able to get the information I need. And my key learning here is a single undetected synthetic identity campaign, 30 accounts. And also in this my key learning, I try to understand that you will think that attackers, they are not smart like we are smart. all of them are also smart. So when you are trying to do some things online, you have to be very careful of whatever you are trying to do, because of even beside you, somebody can be using their phone just to get your thumbprinting. And because of they're able to get your thumbprinting, they can do whatever they want to do with it. Thank you so much. And thank you once again for this challenge, because it was not easy. It was easy, but at least we are able to get the experience. Thank you so much, everyone. I am grateful.
All right, thank you so much. I believe the judges are taking notes already. So please, following up, please let's try and keep to time. Okay, so the timer is currently up, so that you just follow through, so that you're able to gather your ideas together. All right. Okay, so that was a beautiful one. Hi, Stephen. Good day. How are you doing today? Stephen, if you can hear me, please signify. If not, to move over to the next person. Hi, Stephen. Good day.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Stephen. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay,
Please,
I'm
once
fine.
you're ready, share your screen
Yes.
so that we can start.
My due to the power outage that we used to have here, my system has gone down. I don't know whether it will even survive the next minute. Let me just see what I can do. I
All right.
I intend to use my. Can I use my phone?
Yeah, I mean, if you have the slide on your phone, sure, why not?
Okay, let me see.
All right. So, okay. So why you said why you set that up? Probably another person should go on. Then when you set up, then we'll go back to you. How about that?
Oh, okay. I'm almost okay. Okay, somebody should take over.
All right. Perfect.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. All right. So next on the list we have Faith Eloho, if I got that surname correct. Hi, good day. How are you doing?
Hello, good day. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Doing fine.
Once,
So not too good,
all
not too
right.
bad.
Yeah, please try and be good.
I
Please.
think so. I'm going to put my screen. So
Sorry,
I'm
Steven,
Amdari
please can you mute your
Security.
mic?
Can you all see my screen? Oh, please.
Okay, not yet.
Okay. No problem. Let me do that. Yeah. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Um, no, we can't.
Whoa. What's wrong? Please just hold on a minute. Screen sharing already. Please hold on.
All right. So while you're getting your slide ready, Adams, please be prepared because you go after Faith. Then Stephen will proceed after Adams. Okay. So can you try resharing your screen now?
Can you see my screen now?
Still no. Get sync. It's coming up. Okay. Do you want to stop sharing because we can see Canva?
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see the Canva login screen. I don't know if you want to
You...
stop sharing and share.
Okay, I think it's delaying. Is it up now?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. You want to stop? You can stop sharing and try to share again. Let's see if it's
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Stop sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
Please just give me a few minutes.
No problem. Okay. Well, while you're getting that done, hi Adams. Are you on the call? Good day. Just confirm if you're with us.
Hi, good evening.
Okay. Okay. Well done. Please get your own.
I'm here.
Please prepare your
Can you hear
slides.
me?
Yeah. Please prepare your slides so that once Fit is done, you'll be able to present for us. All right. Hi Adams, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can I proceed?
Okay. Okay. Probably proceed while Fit fixes our own sharing issue. All right. So just
Okay,
a
I
minute.
am done actually.
All right. Since Adams is ready,
Okay.
Adams, please just proceed. Then after you, Fit will go.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Adams. Aritu Adams. This is an analysis for Race FinTech concerning the midnight swap attack. So, Race FinTech is a platform that was targeted by a sophisticated identity multiplexing campaign. A identity multiplexing is when an attacker iterates to multiple synthetic identities to gain access to a system. This breach was multi-staged and was initialized from dev1 email address, which rapidly escalated into a financial fraud operation. So the attack method was to bypass traditional security measures using automated scripts. They carried out a swap of funds, transferring money from one account to another. Yes. So the objective is I'm going to demonstrate to you how access was gained, the forensics analysis, and I'll tell you about how the attack impacted Raise FinTech and my recommendations and remediation. So the initial attack began with passive OSINTs, that's scraping web sources, scraping public repositories to get dev1's email address. And then doing that, we were able to create a phishing attack which targeted trust and urgency, because social engineering plays on people's emotions such as greed, fear, and all that, anxiety and the likes. So he was targeted using trust and urgency from his GitHub, which told him to basically prompted him to log into his account. So we sent the email, and then we got dev1 to click on the link, which I demonstrated here. To click on the link, and we are able to get the password. So for this, I used my email address to just show you that the password was for testing purposes, and that's my email address. So the credentials were harvested, and that is what we use to begin the lateral movements through the network. So we're giving, after the attack, we're giving 2 logs to analyze. And the first log we got was the transaction log. And the ticket that was generated said the attack happened between 1 and 4 a.m. The attack was above $2,500 to $3,000. Yes. And then it affected 3 users specifically. That was the tickets we got. So using this information, we were able to search the transaction logs where we put the specific amount, and then we found that 4 transactions were made between the 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. It basically happened between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. of transactions above $2,500. The first one was $2,850, and then there was a 40 minutes gap before the second transaction of $2,950, and then there was another 45 minutes gap for the transaction of 2,800, and then there was a quick transaction that happened under 83 seconds. This prompted us to believe that it was an attack, but a script that was used to perform this attack. We then looked into the authorization logs, and then we found that it was actually a bot that was used to gain access through the system, basically. We also did a keyword search for midnight swap attack to find a signature for the attacker, and we found those signatures across both logs. And yes, so our key findings were that there was a broken access control, which the dev one was overpriced.
Hi Adams, your time is up. Please let's try to keep to time. We have people still waiting to present, so we don't want to spend so much time on one person.
I'll be done.
2 minutes is too long. If you can wrap your thoughts within 30 seconds, then that is fine.
So there was broken access control. The also found vulnerability in the biometrics authentication, and then the impact is that there was financial loss, which leads to reputational damage and trust deficits. We have a roadmap for remediation of this attack from short term to long term, which stands from banning the IP of the attacker all the way to deploying Splunk and having extra layers of security rather than just basing it on transaction amounts. We base the actions based on the user's behavior. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that. Thank you. I'm sure the judges are also paying attention. All right. Hi, Faith. Are you ready for us now?
Yes, I am. Can you see my screen?
All right. Yeah, we can. Please put it to presentation mode, and your timer starts now.
So this is the Amdari Cybersecurity Hackathon, the Enterprise Security Assessment for Rate FinTech, presented by me, Obara Faith Eloho. Now, my engagement context stimulated a real-world attack scenario. The role is external attacker with limited intelligence. My starting point, single exposed identity, no system access or credential provided. Now, this engagement stimulates a real attacker, starting with almost no information and building the paths with it. Now, my assessment objective, interpret minimal information, identify possible entry points, stimulate initial access strategy, explore potential attack path, and provide actionable security insights. Now for track 1, which is my initial access stimulation given, I was given just dev1 at rate.online. No IP address was given, no infrastructural visibility, no credentials were given. So my strategy, technical scanning is not possible because no IP and other things given and no attack surface identified. So I decided to target the human layer using social engineering. So for this, I did a pretext to, here's the pretext, the sample image, as you can see here. Now, the reason for this, using a salary increment notification to email to draw the attacker, because I know when it comes to salary, employers are always active when it comes to high salary, so high engagement likelihood. And from the picture, you also see that HR is involved here. So trust in HR communication, because everyone trusts the HR, and urgency was also used in this attack. Now, the reason why I did that, because I wasn't given much details, just the email. So I had to use the email as an attack strategy, given that, and I use salary increment, given that social engineering, humans are the weakest link in an organization. Now, key insights. What is my conclusion? Identity alone can be an entry point. The only thing I had was just that identity, and I could use it because I already had one identity of someone in the organization. And looking at that identity, it is dev1 at rate.online.com. Now it's possibly showing that that person is a developer in Rate. Now, human trust is exploitable. Like I said, attack does not require technical vulnerabilities. Now, my recommendation for this is phishing resistance multi-factor authentication, security awareness training, email authentication control, and verification of information before clicking any link. Now, for track 2, which is my SOC investigation, the objective was to detect attackers' activities in log. A log was given, identify the pattern and anomalies. Now, my approach, I use Splunk. I focused on authenticating events, correlating logins, transaction, and build attack timeline. I observed that brute force attack using Hydra and phishing-based login attempt, failed multi-factor authentication challenge, and suspicious data access. Now, the attack progression, credential attempt to login attempt, multi-factor challenge, and what we have so far. Now, my key findings, I see that there are repeated failed logins from same IP, indicator of automated attacks, the use of robots, suspicious access to sensitive data, and off-hour activity, which is the midnight swap pattern. If you can see here, you see that when I uploaded and used search pattern to find out, the event was 5,000, and there was a brute force attack from a particular unknown login, which the details are there, and you find out that the person used brute force for this. This is one example. A second example, these are other examples too. If you look closely, you're going to see the name Ifeanyi, the login, phishing harvested credential. You see all of them there. This was used. Okay, so my recommendation, real-time anomaly detection, login behavior monitoring, transaction alerting, incident response readiness. Then for threat 3, which is the threat intelligence objective, I had to understand fraud pattern and just to know your customer by bypass risk. Now the approach, pattern analysis of login behavior, identification of suspicious IP activities, linking related attack events. Now fraud indication, we have phishing-based attack takeover, we have failed multi-factor authentication attempt, automated login attack, repeated suspicious access pattern. Now, the risk interpretation is identity compromised, unauthorized access, exposure to financial slash know your customer details, regulatory and compliance risks. Why do I say so? Here are evidence of it. If you look at this at 15th of November 2024, a user was there and successful login. You can see the details on the screen. We also have another one where this was phishing attack takeover, and this failed pilot. Yeah, I'm concluding now. So in conclusion, small exposure, you don't need to give big exposure, just name of someone in an organization or an email can lead to compromise. Attacks combine human and technical factor. Detection is as important as prevention, and security must be layered and adaptive. So attackers thinking patterns for defenders must change. Attackers thinking patterns for defenders must think in patterns. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, that was Faith. Just to reiterate for the judges. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Faith. Can you mute your mic? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Hi, Benjamin. Are you with us here today? Please say hi if you're on the call, Benjamin.
Hi, I can hear you. Hi, Fortune.
All right. Hi, Benjamin. Could you turn on your camera so that we see you while you present? Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and share my screen if that's okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's keep the time. Thank you so much.
All right.
So once you're ready, I'll start the timer.
Yeah. Hold on a bit.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present. You can go ahead and start the timer now. So my assessment was I went to the part 1, which was the penetration testing that was given in the task. So this is an assessment carried out by Benjamin. So the engagement overview, the objective was to identify external attack surface. The scope was limited to rate.online and public-facing assets. And we had some out of scope, which were internal and financial systems. This approach was basically a black box external assessment because limited information was being provided for the attacker to be able to carry out his operation, or the pen tester to be able to carry out his operation. In the reconnaissance stage, I did DNS enumeration, and OSINT was also performed. There was strong DNS hardening observed. SPF and DMARC was also configured on the subdomains. The subdomains discovered were mail, API, and then portal, and then VPN services. If you see from my screen, this was the result of some of the informations that were gathered from the reconnaissance stage. When I did whois information, I also discovered that it was hosted on Hostinger and hosting platform. For the DNS, NS, and text, this was what I was able to get as well. Moving forward, it was the enumeration stage. Hostinger DNS packing detected, limited exposure of services, subdomains increased the attack surface. Email infrastructure was also identified. The OSINT identity analysis, the target email that was given was dev1 at rates.online. No breach found via the HIBP. This was likely a placeholder account, potential developer exposure risk as well. The technology and fingerprinting, subdomains not resolved, no active web services were detected during the processes. SMT connection also failed, possible misconfigurations or inactive services. Attack surface analysis, single IP behind the CDN. The ports that were open were actually port 80 and 443, which are like the HTTPS and HTTP. No login panels or APIs were identified by me. There was very limited external exposure to what I got. You can see from my screen when I did that check. The security controls identified where CDN protection was active, general zone transfer also blocked, the SPF and DMARC enforced. There was strong perimeter security on the what was given. The weakness identified were missing HTTP security headers, a single point of exposure, and that I actually got from performing I tried to perform like a web kind of scan to actually identify some vulnerabilities from the system, which I got most of this information. So there was no technical exploit part, which was identified by me during the whole process. So the whole shift was to the social engineering. So phishing selected as a vector and mode of attack. The tools I used were GoFish. I used Brevo to be able to get SMTP configured. So this is Brevo. It provided open source SMTP for me to be able to configure and send the phishing email. I used also ngrok to be able to set up my hosting service. So ngrok, this was my endpoint, which I also configured to be able to connect with receiving credentials. So yes, next was the attack part, which I actually consider, which was the recon infrastructure analysis. And since no exploit was gotten, I decided to move on to the phishing attack, the credential harvesting, and then potential internal assets. This was the part which I tried to triage upon. The same interface just I've shown you before. So I composed a form in my GoFish in the message part of the platform to be able to send to the the dev1 account, which was the limited email that was provided to us. This was what I composed and I sent to the attacker. I sent 3 emails. Some of them were testing, and you can see from here, this was the dev1 at rate developer. So that's what I did. The image was sent. Then the key findings was infrastructure is actually secure. System was actually tight. The primary risk is human layer. Phishing can bypass defenses. Identity is the weakest link, which was what dev1 at online. Recommendations to enforce multi-factor authentication, apply least privilege principle, audit privilege account, and remove unnecessary admin rights. To secure Active Directory, conduct bloodhound audit, hardened service accounts, and deploy EDR solution. That's for recommendations for the short term. For long-term, security awareness training to staff of rates, simulated phishing campaigns, and then they should adopt a zero trust model, continuous monitoring as well. In conclusion, no major technical vulnerabilities were identified by me. High risk via phishing attacks was the only part which I traded upon, and I sent a phishing email. Security depends on people and configuration, and to implement these controls to be able to prevent this breach. And it would be nice to actually make a recommendation of an NIST or maybe ISO 27001 for most controls to be able to safeguard and mitigate most of these attacks in future occurrences. Thank you very much, and this was what I was able to do.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. Thank you so much. So judges, that was Benjamin that was presented. Thank you. Hi, Adekule. Please, are you on the call? Hi, Aziz.
Hi,
going next after Adekule. Good evening. All right, please start your time. We'll start once you start sharing your screen with us.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Please just keep it to 5 minutes. We still have couple of people. We are halfway done. We're almost done, but we're not yet done. So let's keep to time. Thank you so very much. No, we can't see your screen. Okay, we can see it now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Adekunle A. Joseph. So this attack was simulated, and we found out that multiple stage cyber attack targets the rate fintechs, which starts with phishing, then leads to credential compromise, and lead to fraud activities and KYC bypass. So the weak identity controls enable the compromise all across the stages. So the key theme here is that the identity trust failure across the systems. So we have the full evidence report in here. You can all check it when you have time. Then for the assessment overview, so the track one is the penetration testing. That is how the attackers gain access to the inside the systems. While the track two, which is the SOC monitoring, is when how I was able to detect the unusual activities and find out what is wrong with the systems. So the track three is the KYC fraud and the threat intelligence. So for track one overview, I simulated an external attack to the right right enterprise. So with this, I was able to gain access by sending a phishing email to the dev1 developer, which I was able to obtain the credentials access. So getting the credential access, I was able to view all other internal systems like the internal APIs, the internal APIs, the account has too much privilege. So I was able to check so many endpoints on the systems. So the key finding for the track one is that the lack of least privilege that enables systems exposures, that is the dev1 developer account who has too much privilege, which enabled the attackers was to view and carry out so many financial fraud and lead to money laundering. So the impact of the track one is that the unauthorized access into the systems by phishing, by accessing the phishing through the NG-ROG. I host the phishing link on my local NG-ROG, send it to the developer. So the API, the high risk of the fraud and API abuse, because the developer has too many privileges. So for the track two investigation of the so I was able to sort each because the logs and the audition and evidence was so much. I was able to sort them by filtering which IP address, which device logged in so many accounts in so many times, which IP address was used to log in so many accounts, and which device they use. Most of the devices they use are both, and some use real devices. In the case of compromise, use repeated malicious they use shared device accounts, the botnet, and you have rapid transaction burst. That is, they send out so many money out of the systems in the minutes. So the baseline of this is that using the user behavior of the account, I was able to highlight the IP address of the attackers, and also I was able to identify the IP address of the attackers and correlate the device across the users, and also check how many failed logins their attackers have. That is the patterns of the failed login they use. So the indicator of compromise of attack track 2 includes the multiple accounts used within the short time frames. So to indicate automation, we can first log in to
Hi,
transaction
Joseph.
time.
Hi, Joseph.
Yes, hi, sir.
Hi, Joseph.
We use
Please round up. The time is up.
almost done, sir. So for the track 3,
That's second,
which
please.
is Thank you. For the track 3, which is to identify how the manipulation and the verification bypass of the KYC works. So the attackers use deep fake identity to bypass the KYC of the systems. Even when the confidence scores was low, the system was able to check the attackers in. So this threat intelligence in the strategies includes the suspicious IP address that was linked to anonymous infrastructures. So we can use the use of VPN and proxy maxing. That is, the attacker use VPNs mostly and proxy maxing to max his IP address, and also what the location data is what unreliable. So the impact of this is that the fake identities were able to onboard the systems. So the exposure to the fraud and what money laundering, and the regulatory compliance risks is what is being checked, because people won't like it when their identity is being stolen, their credential or their money is being stolen. So for recommendations, I recommend to enforce multi-factor authentications and also apply least privilege access controls to strengthen the KYC validation logins, and also detect and block anonymous traffic. We can also implement real-time monitoring in the SIEMs, that is, and to improve our incident response speed. We can also use the use of the SOA.
Hi, Joseph. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, Aziz. Can you hear us? Hi, Aziz. Good day. How are you doing today? All right, guys, we are almost done with this particular segment. Hello, Aziz. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Aziz. Please.
All right.
Share your screen so that we can start. Thank you so much. Please, let's keep to the 5 minutes. So whatever we have to present, let's try and wrap our thoughts together. Thank you so much.
All right, please hold on. Can I see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. It's showing a login screen to Audacity.
Hold on, please. Hold on. All right, can you see it now?
Coming up. Yeah, we can see it. Your time starts now.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Aziz Abdulsalam, and I'm a fourth-year cybersecurity student. I'll be presenting my Amdari Security.
Hold on a second, Aziz. Joseph, can you mute your mic, please, Joseph? I'm having trouble hearing. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Aziz.
All right, so I'll be presenting my findings from the Amdari Cybersecurity Hackathon, powered by Reitex. Now, I worked across all 3 tracks: the penetration testing, the SOC investigation, and the KYC fraud analysis. Let me walk you through what I found. Okay, sorry. Let me walk you through what I found. Now, for track 1, I was given exactly one thing: the email address, which is our dev1 writes online. No password, no access, and no other thing. The first thing I did was reconnaissance. I used whois and DNS lookup to learn about the domain and the LinkedIn to understand who works at Ritex. From there, I crafted a phishing email pretending to be the IT help desk, and I sent it to that email. The targets responded. The targets responded and gave me their credentials. With those, I was able to connect to their internal network using Bloodhound to mark the Active Directory and found pathway to all the domain admin, complete control of the network. The five weaknesses that made this possible are: number 1, no MFA, which is multi-factor authentication, no email authentication, no security training, too much access. Now, here is actually the email I sent. It came from a fake domain, which is Rate Support Online, which looked very similar to the real one. The email told the targets their account was flagged for unusual activity and that they needed to reply with their password within 2 hours or face a 3 to 5 day suspension. 4 psychological tricks I used here was urgency, fear, authority, and secrecy. The person was told not to share the email with anyone, which is very important. The target replied with their full credentials. That's how easy when there's no security awareness in training. Now, track two. Track two is put me in the shoe of a SOC analyst who comes at work at 7:45 a.m. and finds an alert waiting. But when I started digging into those logs using Splunk, I found there was no accident. There was only 3 separate attacks happening at the same time overnight. The first was phishing combined with credential stuffing, that his password was stolen from 57 accounts. The second was midnight swap. The attacker used those stolen passwords to move money out through the exchange. The third was a ransomware attack here. The third one was ransomware attack on the internal infrastructure, complete separate from the fraud actually. Now, the midnight swap attack unfolded hour by hour. It started at 12:10 p.m. on November 14th. The attacker sent out a phishing email and collected password. Oh, my screen is not sharing, sorry.
Yeah, it looks like your slideshow might be stuck. If you're in slideshow mode, you can try exiting out and maybe just running out of the browser. Sometimes I see this happen.
I'm coming. Is it showing now?
Showing the first slide.
Yeah, it's showing. Yeah.
I don't know why it's not next thing. Hold on. Can I see the next slide now?
There you go. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
So the midnight swap, this was the attack timeline. Where did I stop? Okay, so it started at 12:10 p.m. on November 14th. The attacker sent phishing email and collected password throughout the day. Then at 12:31 a.m. on November 15th, the midnight attack began. On one device, sorry. On one device, it started trying all those stolen password on account after account. What makes this clear automated is the pattern. Every 40 seconds, 3 attempts was tried across 19.
Hi, Aziz.
Yeah,
Hi,
sorry.
Aziz. Please round up your thoughts. Your time is up. We'll give you 20 seconds. Please wrap up your thoughts. Thank you.
Let me move on to the KYC fraud. The track 3 gave me 1,000. The track 3 gave me 1,000 KYC applications. These are identity checks people go through before opening an account on right. I found 3 fraud patterns hidden in the data. The first was a KYC fraud, the KYC factory. One IP address submitted 6 different applications in 2 sessions. Each one completes within 16 to 18 minutes. All different names, same origin, all approved. The second was device reuse. The same physical hardware was used to register 2 different people, one Nigerian identity and one Canadian identity, 2 weeks apart, which was very smart. The third one was a weak facial score. 11 applications was 11 biometric applications passed automatically, and 2 were flagged for review, and no action was taken. Now, across all these 3 tracks, 6 recommendations came out. From track 1, enable MFA everywhere immediately, and train staff to recognize phishing emails. Yeah. Track 2, reset all 57 compromised accounts. Hold on. Okay. Track 2, reset all 57 compromised accounts. Take 2 ransomware machine offline for forensic investigation and file a suspicious transaction report. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you so much,
to summarize, Track 1 showed that a single exposed email address is enough to fully compromise an entire network. Track 2 showed 3 overlapping attacks that are identified and mapped using Splunk. Track 3 showed 3 distinct KYC fraud patterns in datasets of 1,000 applications. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So that was Aziz, judges. Thank you. Hi, Steven. Are you ready for us now? Hello, Steven.
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, we can hear you. Please
My
proceed with you.
my system is down already because of the
Yeah, you said
power
you're going to
program.
use your phone.
Let me use my
Aren't you
phone.
ready with your phone?
Yes. Okay. Let me use my phone. Can you see my phone? My screen?
Not yet.
Hello. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Okay. Can you see it now?
No, we can't. No, we can't. All right. Steven, probably would come back to you so that we can quickly wrap this session up. So please just get the file on your phone so that once it's time you're going to present, but we can't see your screen at the moment.
I have shared it. I don't know whether the phone app
No, we
cannot.
can't see it. We can't see it.
Okay.
We can't see it. We can't see it. We'll come back to you. Thank you. Hi, Lucky. Good day. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Hi, Lucky. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning. Lucky on the call. Okay. I got Joseph, if I'm not mistaken. Hi, good evening.
Yeah.
How are you
Hi,
doing
good evening.
today?
I'm good.
Yeah,
Can you hear me, please?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
All right. You have 5 minutes, please. Let's stick to time.
Okay, a few minutes. I'm coming. Guys, I guys see my
Yeah,
screen.
we can see your screen. Yeah, we can see your screen. Your time has started.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Agada Joseph. I'm a student of University of Abuja. So on this hackathon, I took on TV tracks, penetration testing, SOC monitoring, and KYC fraud investigation. So down to track 1. For track 1, I was given a single email address, that's the dev@rails.online, and also tasks with seeing how far I can get into the company network. So I started by doing OSINT research using tools like the Harvester to pull employees' names, subdomain, and the company tech tags from public resources. From there, I launched a phishing campaign called Go Shift, use sending a fake IT email telling staff that their VPN certificate needed urgent renewal. And within 47 minutes, an employee submitted their credentials. What happened next is what concerns me most. There's no MFA on the VPN, so I logged straight into the internal network with those stolen credentials. No challenge, no barrier. So once I was inside, I used Bloodhound to map the Active Directory environment. I found out that the compromised account had right access over a service account called svc.deploy. I identified 8 vulnerabilities, 2 rated critical. And also recommendation on this part 1 is that We have to deploy MFA on all VPN and remote access system. Number two, anti-phishing gateway plus security awareness training program for all employees. So straight to track two. So can you guys see my screen? Hi.
Yeah, please proceed. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So for track two, three attacks happened simultaneously. The first was credential stuffing. I traced an IP from Nigeria, problem 16 account admin net. 3 were breached, MFA was bypassed on all 3, and 11,500 Canadian dollars was stolen within 90 minutes. The second was a phishing and boot attack. I found 5 fake domain impersonating harvested credentials from 45 employees, automated bots identifiable by their Python request signature in the log, then took over 13 accounts and stole a further Canadian loss of 11,080. Also, the third was ransomware. At 3 a.m., I found a service account SVC underscore deploy connecting from an external IP. The attacker moved to 3 internal service account, appreciated 1.4 gigabyte of data, including 8,241 customer know your consumer records, and also deployed a PowerShell script that encrypted 79% of the file. It took over 3 hours to contain. I also wrote Splunk detection queries that automatically flag all TV attacks. So the most important immediate action now is to deploy the FIDO2/web MFA. It eliminates OTP bypass used in midnight swap, and also to rotate all SVC underscore as the credential plus implement PAMP with just in-time access. So down to the track 3, which is the KYC fraud structuring and threat analysis. This is where I uncovered the most sophisticated fraud of 79,905 Canadian dollars. The first pattern I discovered was transaction structuring, which identified 4 suspects making 20 transfer to Nigeria account. Every single transaction delivered tickets between 2,753 and 2,982 Canadian dollars, just below the FinTrack reporting threshold. When I mapped through the counterparts, each transfer went to a different extent. A classic money moon fan out that's textbook structuring and a criminal law, Canada law. The second fraud pattern identified was a deep fake KYC bypass. I traced a threat actor using a tool called GhostLink, which is used to inject a synthetic video into the camera feed doing identity verification. The facial recognition score came back at just 0.58 out of 1. So, and also to a known Tor exists linked to a threat actor called Phantom ID. While the third pattern was the account takeover transaction executed within 1 to 4 minutes of login. So my recommendation for this is that we have to raise the KYC facial score threshold and transaction velocity threat, block Tor IPs and the gateway, and honestly 5 FinTrack suspicious transaction reports and the PPDA breach notification for the 8,041 exposed customer code. Closing. What this investigation taught me is that certificate attacks don't always need certificate tools. Every breach I uncovered came down to something small and feasible. A missing MFA, a weak password, and a fraud threshold set too low, a KYC that should have been rejected. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you so much, Agada, Joseph. All right. Okay. So I don't know. Steven, are you now ready for us?
Okay, let me try and see. I'm sharing the screen now. Can you see my screen?
No, we can't see your screen. There was a message I was sent to the chat for you to share it via the email so that we can help you share your slides while you present. I don't know if you got that. Okay. While we're on that, hi Lucky, are you back on the call now?
See my screen?
Hello Lucky. No, we can't see your screen. Okay. Hi Lucky. Good day. Are you on the call now? Okay. Seems your network did not allow you to make it to the finals today. Steven, I don't know.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
No, we can't see your screen.
All right.
Well, I mean, if you probably can give us a summary of what you did, probably.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Just give us a quick summary of what you did so that we can wrap up this segment. Thank you so much.
Okay. Why is this thing? Oh my God. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Your timer has started, so please, let's...
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Steven.
Okay, but you cannot see my screen, right?
Yeah, just proceed. Just give us a summary of what you did.
Do the presentation. Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen Mika Makoshi, here to present my Amdari Security Hackathon 2026. And this is the agenda that we will look at in my presentation. Track 1, enterprise presentation and pen testing. Track 2, security operation center analysis. And track 3, threat intelligence KYC fraud. And other things we shall be discussing is the key findings and risk assessment. And we will look at recommendation and remediation. And lastly, we will look at the lessons learned and conclusion. In track 1, the objective of track 1 is to simulate attackers-led compromise, starting from minimal information, single corporate email. So we have scope here. My scope here is there is in scope and out scope. And there is rule that governs the way we do the pen testing. Some of the rules include simulating lab environment only, no disruptive attack, full documentation. The method I use for track 1 as follows: recognizant for public information, email, channel, phishing, pretext. And then we have the initial access attempt, which we simulate. I simulate phishing via Godfish and Sandbox. So, and the other aspect of the pen testing is the scanning and enumeration, and then exploration. And then after the whole process, the key findings are found in the table below. As you can see, since you say you are not seeing it, I'm seeing it here. Vulnerability, we talk about vulnerability, system, impact, and recommendation. Under impacts, we categorize them under high, medium, and low impact. And the following are the items I discover in my findings, phishing susceptibility, weak remote access, exposed active directory information, phishing, privilege escalation, and insufficient login. So the recommendation after the assessment are as follows. We risk level high. I encourage that identifying base attack, medium, misconfiguration and privilege escalation should be taken care of, and low login gap. Recommendation include enforce MFA, security awareness and phishing campaign should be intensified, and least privilege and system hardening should be encouraged also. And then I now recommend that centralized monitoring and alert should be implemented, and then periodic pen testing and audits should also be welcome. Going to my track 2, which I talked about.
Hi, Steven. Hi, Steven.
Yes.
Your time is up. Time is up. The time is up. Thank you so much for presenting. We do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hi, Lucky. Are you on the call now? Hi, Lucky. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Yes, can you
evening.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, I've been having a terrible network so far, and can I just
Can you present now?
if could I just present with the should I just go with the summary on my phone?
Okay, if it's on your phone, I can share your screen. Please do that.
Okay.
Your timer has started.
Trying to share my phone screen. I don't like. I can't seem to share my phone screen. Should I just share? Can I just give a summary on my reports?
Yeah.
All right. Please. I mean, your time is already going. So.
Okay. So. Based on my reports, my penetration test on right fintech infrastructure, a one-day attack was conducted against right environment, starting with a single exposed credential, dev1 at rates.online. No password or internal access were provided, and this demonstrates that the attacker could move from the inside data point to a foothold inside Rate's internal network by exploiting the human elements and identifying centric architecture. Now, this is considered a high risk rating, and what I did was the scope and rules of engagement I did was the corporate identity systems. I was able to get through the user interactions channels, the remote access mechanism, internal environment post access. Now this parts are the in scope I used, and then I gained physical security, a DOS, and a live financial transaction or real customer data. Now, no disruptive activity or full documentation of each steps.
Hi, Lucky. Seems like your network is a bit bad this evening. Okay. Sadly, we need to move forward
Which
from this segment.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Which
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh,
Hi, Lucky. Please
so
proceed.
that was for the phase two, for the initial access using Goldfish and NGROP, and I took the action where I crafted a targeted email to Devon at Red's Online, um, with the subject of action required, pipeline notification refresh, and a body brief professional. I generated a body for it, which resulted in me capturing the username and password when user submits. The next phase I took was the internal enumeration using Power View and Bloodhound, which gave me authentication to domain and enumerated AD objects. And while I was on that, I found out that Dev1 belongs to developers group. Developers group has read access to code repo, and privileged group cloud admins contains 3 accounts, one which has a similar naming pattern. Then I went through the next phase to escalate the privilege using Bloodhound path analysis. I identified that developers group is delegated with a generic all permission on a service account, and the results gave me the ability to reset the password access to deployment server. The vulnerabilities I identified were email spoofing susceptibility, which was high, and with the evidence, the no remark policy enforced, internal email can masquerade as internal, and the impact allows credible phishing against staff. Um, I discovered another vulnerability, which was privileged developer group high as well, and the developer holds generic all in a privileged escalation to deployment account. I
Hi,
I
Lucky. Hi,
I
Lucky.
can
Please,
recommend.
can you wrap up your thoughts in 10 seconds?
Okay, I can recommend both long term, short term, and that would like enforce all remote access and cloud management portals, implements for rights, and remove all generic rights from developers group on service accounts. For the track two, I did a SOC analysis. I did a Splunk analysis on the malware, the authentication audits, the transactional forensic evidence, where I found out that the total quantified loss and anomaly transaction in CAD were settled in NGN in Nigeria currency, to unauthorized accounts. The infested hosts for FS01, which was the primary file server, the impacts, which had an impact of 2,180 files encrypted.
Hi,
The
Lucky.
ransomware served as a forensic smoke screen to hinder
Hi, Lucky.
immediate detection of the financial diversion. Now, while I use the
Thank you so much, Lucky.
should I
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up. All right. I mean, that was a taking
My
session.
network was just so messed up.
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much to everyone that presented today. It's I mean, it was very lovely to, see that. I don't know, before the judges, decide or like have their final pick, I would love to hear from Jess, right? From what you've seen so far, how would you say the whole team was in general? Like, just give us a word or two.
Yeah, it was really, really well done. I think that each participant did a good job navigating the situation in creative ways. I think overall feedback I would give to everyone. I know it's really difficult to communicate these sorts of technical concepts in such a short amount of time, especially when you're going over 3 cases at once. Little tricks you can do, literally set a 5-minute timer on your phone and put it next to your screen. And I do that all of the time in customer meetings. Being able to communicate these things very quickly to people, they're, especially in enterprise orgs, CISOs they'll tell you to move on. They'll tell you to hurry up. And it's hard to focus when you're being egged on like that. So this is actually good real world practice in that regard, and really well done from everyone.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi, Abimbola. You want to say something too?
Oh, yes. Just to corroborate what Jesse mentioned, in the real world out there, there's no time. And the folks that are deciding on these things, they're not technical. So you need to be able to break it down in simple terms, how it affects the business, and what are the action items that they need to take. Otherwise, you've not done any work at the end of the day, because you can have all of the technical work, all of the screenshots, and you're not able to articulate your thoughts in. It's one thing to articulate your thoughts. It's another thing to be able to do it in a short amount of time. And just like Jesse said, you'll be told to move on, and that would count against you overall.
Thank you so much. I'm sure participants as well as the finalists, they have actually learned 1 or 2 things. So Jesse and Abimbola, I'll be dropping the both of you in a breakout room now so that both of you can, communicate and have your pick for the next 7 minutes. I don't know if that will be enough time for the both of you to have your final top 5. All right, so I'll be doing that now. I'll be opening the room for the both of you. Thank you so much. Let me know when you see that. All right, thank you. So, guys, the final decision to be made, right? I mean, I want to believe that it's actually being made now, and it will be ending in the next 8 minutes. But before we proceed, we have our co-founder here with us, Efemina. Hi, Efemina. Good day, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. You can go ahead, I'll come in
Nice
later,
to
okay?
All right. Perfect.
All right.
Hi,
Thank you.
Christopher. All right. Hi, Christopher. Good evening. How has this been so far for you personally? Hi, Chris. Okay. All right. So you know what? Let me just speak to someone on the call. So if you want to chat with me, just raise up your hand. Let's have a minute or less, just chit chat on how this has been so far. Okay, well, before we go into the chit chat, yeah, I mean, this all wouldn't have been possible without our partner company, and I would love to call one of their co-founders to, come and speak to us about their services, come to speak to us about them. But before they come on, it's been lovely actually having them as a partner for this. This wouldn't have been possible without them, and we are more than grateful that they are able to believe in what we believe in and share in the vision. So hi, Ayobami Macaulay, good day. How are you doing today? I don't know, please, if you can hear me, please indicate.
Yeah, for
Hi,
sure.
Ayobami, good evening. Yeah, please, we'd love to see your face too, if that's possible.
For sure. Just give me 1 second.
All right, thank you so much.
All right. How's it going?
Yeah, we can see you clearly, crystal clear, if I might say. All right, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just let me know when to start.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I know you've spent a lot of time. People have provided fantastic presentations, so I'll keep this short. Everyone likes sending money home, but we at Rates believe this can be done a lot better. So if you like sending money, you definitely love swapping money at the end of the day. The reason why sending money home is so expensive these days is because they have to do a lot of things in the background that we have brought to the foreground. And that saves you, I think, about 90% on fees that they say are free. And you walk away with a lot more money than you are anticipating. So Rates helps you swap the currency you need with other people in your community. And I'm happy that we are given the chance to, partner with Amdari and be a case study in this fantastic event.
Thank you so much, Ayobami. So, I mean, if we want to connect with, you, if you want to connect with the platform, if you want to be able to reach out, how do we access it?
So we're on Instagram at Rates App, REYTS app. And once you're on our Instagram, you can definitely find us anyway. You can speak with our fantastic support team. And it's not available all around the world just yet. But if you are in Canada or in Nigeria, you need Canadian dollars and you don't want them to cut your neck, essentially. Rates will find you someone that has what you need. You guys swap, agree on the rates, which is why we're called Rates, and you save a lot more money than you would anywhere else on any other platform.
I mean, guys, who wants this, right? So please, let's check them on Instagram and, use the service. Thank you so much, Ayobami, and thank you so much for being a partner with us for this first edition of our hackathon. We are more than grateful and we are more than excited to see how it goes from here forward. Thank you so much, Ayobami.
Fantastic, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Hi, Christopher. Are you with me now? Good day. Okay. So who wants to chat with me? Who wants to chat with me? Let me see. Let me look for someone. Okay. Just a minute. So in the next 3 minutes, our judges will be back and we'll be able to wrap up this beautiful session.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Christopher. So how has this been for you personally?
Well, it's been very great. The report I've seen was very, very detailed, no doubt. And actually, this is the first hackathon that we are hosting at Amdari, and the future ones would be much more better with more attack surfaces, right? I know most people were having issues, difficulty in the dev email addresses, but it's because your email was not interesting as it should be, right? And for those of us that didn't win, just don't give up. Just because you're not in the top 10 contenders, don't give up. Okay, still strive to be better than where you're at. I think that's the best skill as a cybersecurity professionalist. Not being complacent. Okay, being better than your previous self. That is what pushes you to become better. All right. So yeah, that is it. So the next hackathon would be, we would share in our social media the start date so that you have. That's why we were urging you guys to follow us on all our social media platforms, okay, so that you have the first information from the right source as well. Okay, well, thank you guys, thank you all for participating, thank you for your detailed feedback, detailed reports, thank you for making the group and the community very fantastic. Whenever I go there, I always chuckle. Right. So yes, thank you guys. Cheers, and do have a lovely night while we wait for our judges.
All right. So in the next 1 minute, the judges should be back. So personally, the experience has actually been very interesting, right? From creating challenges up to the point of you guys presenting it. I mean, it's kind of beautiful to see like your work being presented, right? It's also been very, very interesting to see that you actually found this pretty much so actually sweet. I saw someone say that he actually found this very interesting. Even though he was able to submit it on time, but I mean he found it very interesting. And personally, it gives me joy to see that you found it challenging and you found it also interesting at the same time. I mean, these are based on real world, scenarios. And trust me, if you actually took this as a real world scenario, you won't find it challenging at all. Okay, so to the beginners in the house, to the intermediates, to the professionals in the house, yeah, I mean, you just keep learning, keep upskilling, and keep improving oneself. So yeah, let's wait for our judges to give us their final verdicts. Just a minute with that, and we'll get it out of the way. Hi Jess. Hi, Abin Bola. Sorry,
Hey,
just
how's it
a
going?
minute. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope the time was enough for you to to come up with the verdict.
Yeah,
yes.
it was.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Once you're ready, please, the floor is yours.
I'm going to let you do the honors, Abimbola, if that's okay. But I just
Sure.
want everyone to know that we are in 100% agreement on this list.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse. Starting in 5th place because we want to save the best for the last, right? And in 5th place, I think it's important to preface and just follow up with what we talked about earlier, where we said communication is important, and that cannot be overemphasized. I think that, and I believe strongly that Jesse as well agrees that just like Jesse, we had time to connect. Just a moment, just let me open the door. There were folks at the door. So as hello, it's really important for us to I mean, it can be overstated. As folks who I studied communication, right? And by every right possible, I don't have any right to be in cybersecurity, but just sheer determination and grind, right? I found my way here, and you don't even want to know my story. I was on TV before, did QA, moved to Canada, heard about cybersecurity and how there's a gap, and I didn't go to school for cybersecurity. I was just I took it upon myself to learn cybersecurity, and it was then I realized, oh, there are several branches and domains under cybersecurity, and I picked the one that I know that would lean into the existing skill sets that I have, and ever since then I've not looked back. I'm sharing the story and I'm sure Jesse has a similar story as well. I'm sharing this to let you know that it is not impossible, right? And everyone who presented here today, who participated in this hackathon, is a winner, right? Whether you have that tag 1st place or 10th place, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're able to pick yourself up and you're able to go again and again and again. Even if you get in, there are times where you would feel like an imposter, like you don't know what you're doing, like, am I sure I'm in the right place, right? But one thing that cannot be overemphasized is the need to be able to communicate whatever findings that you have. There's a saying in security that security is not a money-making unit. It's just another operations unit, but you can position yourself to add value. And even if you're not necessarily making money, but you can add value to the organization. And the value that you can add is by ensuring that whenever you have security discoveries, for lack of a better term, you are able to state it clearly. And like I mentioned earlier, the people who will take decisions on your findings, they are not technical. And that's why it's important to be able to communicate effectively and quickly too. So starting in fifth place, so I have 3 tracks here. There are 3 tracks that were covered, and I had 3 columns: technical depth, communication, and standout moments. In fifth place is Dorcas, and the reason why I'm going for that is she covered all 3 tracks. Her technical depth was strong, and although the communication needs work, just like every other person, and every other person, what's it called, exceeded their time. It was important that you are able to actually still be able to share what you had to folks on this call. There was a standout moment where she said, Sandra, anomaly finding. And I was wondering, okay, what did Sandra do to not be found? But that's not what we're going to be talking about today, other than the fact that she covered all 3 tracks effectively. So give your emojis, your virtual hand claps to Dorcas. Job well done. In fourth place, she covered all 3 tracks as well. She displayed strong technical depth. Her communication, surprisingly, was really great. And one of the things that I dinged points for was exceeding the time. She talked about the kill chain and the executive conclusion, which I found really fascinating. And fourth place goes to no other than Faith Eloho. A round of applause for Faith. In third place, this was tricky, but at the same time, he made it easy to reach this conclusion. Third place goes to Benjamin. And the reason for that is he only covered track 1 effectively. Emphasis on effectively. There were 3 tracks to talk about, but he only did track 1 properly. Technical depth was solid. In terms of communication, it was clear and measured, and he provided an honest assessment when it comes to ISO 27001 and the NIST reference. Going into the top 2. Are you ready for this? Okay. Anyway, in second place, this one was another interesting tie, but I would go into why one person eventually won. In second place is Joseph Agada. He covered all 3 tracks. He displayed the deepest technical knowledge. One of the reasons why I would not give him first place, or we didn't give him first place, is because as much as he displayed strong technical knowledge, in fact, no, scratch that, deep technical knowledge, it was hard to follow what he had to present, especially for folks who are non-technical or folks who are just starting in all of this. He talked about the deep fake for KYC, FinTrack, and structuring. And the reason why he is not our winner today was because communication was hard to follow. Not necessarily hard to follow, but it was dense. It was technically dense. So his strongest point is also his weakness. So, but like I said, this does not take away from everyone here who has participated. Everyone is a winner. Joseph, thank you for participating. And our winner today is no other than the legendary one. Going forward, Aziz, thank you. You are our winner today. And the reason for that is simple. You covered all 3 tracks. Your technical knowledge was strong. Your communication was great. Although it came across as rushed, but if I were to pick between yourself and Joseph, I will pick you just on the basis of communication. So you can see the recurring theme here. Everyone needs to work on their communication skill to be able to, it's definitely inside of you. You just need to exercise it and grow in confidence while doing it. I mean, even me myself, while doing technical presentations, sometimes I would go over it to be able to ensure that I'm communicating the clear themes that I want to influence. Let's put it that way, because at the end of the day, you are going to be an influencer in wherever you find yourself. You are influencing for security. You are selling security, no matter the level that you find yourself. So, Aziz is our winner today on the basis of him being able to communicate effectively. Thank you very much.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much. I mean, that was a surprising turn of events. I must say. I mean, everyone actually gave their all. I must actually commend that. And like the judges have said, please, presentation matters, right? I mean, you might have done the work. I think I mentioned that before this whole finals. I said might have done the whole work, right? But at the end of the day, it's the presentation that actually pays the bills, right? It's not even what you probably did, probably you broke into NASA. No one actually really cares per se, right? I mean, no one really cares in fact that if you cannot tell me how you did it in a very, very simple time, then it does not really work. And I think we shared that during the onboarding just to ensure that you guys are in the mindset of what is needed. Okay. But I mean, congratulations to everyone that actually won here tonight. I mean, it was a delight to, be your host. I don't know if are you ready for us now? Just to say a word or two so that we can wrap things up here today. I mean, it's been solid 2 hours plus, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to go and get some rest. Hi Ife. Good day. Okay.
I can say one thing
All
real
right.
quick while we wait for him if we need to fill some air. Just I just wanted to echo everything Abimbola said. For me, judging for the top five, I was scaling on a scale of 1 to 10, pulling from sort of the same three categories that he was describing. And the top five were all within 1.5 points of each other. The top three were within like 0.3 points of each other. It was very, very close. And the last piece of advice I would give is, when you're giving these sorts of presentations, especially to stakeholders and executives, it's backwards to what you would anticipate. You should spend the least amount of time on the technical detail, focused on, and the most amount of time on business impact and remediation and what needs to be done immediately. Do I need to pull the plug on anything right now? What is the current threat and what are remediation steps, right? That'll get you the buy-in from the executive. The technical stuff you do need to be able to speak to, because they need to hear you speak about it so they know you know what you're talking about. But really only the highlights, right? All of the fine detail you'll give to the boots on the ground later when they send you off to actually go do the security work.
I mean, well said. And I will agree with you on that, like 100%, right? 100% on that. I feel like we should keep technical things for the technical guys and keep non-technical things for the non-technical guys. I think that's the summary of the whole thing, right? When you get to meet with the engineers, when you get to meet with the technical guys, then you can go in depth, like you can spend hours on that. But when it comes to presenting in general, please, let's keep things 3 minutes. That why I gave 3 minutes initially, and then I increased it to 5 minutes because I said that, you're not able to catch up with the 3 minutes. Right? 3 minutes is actually more than enough for you to actually put your thoughts together. Right? Everybody wants. I mean, if you're going to pitch your product to someone, it's 3 minutes you're giving to pitch your product.
You're
You're not
lucky
giving
if you
more than
get
3
3
minutes.
minutes.
Exactly. And if you're starting, I mean, if the way you start is very, very poor, then you've lost your audience entirely, right? I mean, you have 3 minutes, so you want to ensure that when you start to the end, you're giving them like, very, very, very detailed stuff. So I mean, yeah, thank you so much. Um, Hi Ife, are you are you ready for us now? I want to hear your voice. Okay. All right. I guess we'll be wrapping things up now. I mean, just to summarize this whole thing, right? Guys, what we're witnessing here, this is just matter of skills, not just skills, speed and precision, right? And to be honest, this did not just happen by accident, right? To those that won, it was not by accident. These guys have actually put in the work, that puts in the effort, and it all happened because this finally they decided to show up, to push through, and also to like prove that they have what it takes to be top 5. They have what it takes to be able to to scale through. And if you're sitting back and you're thinking, oh, I want to be on that stage, I want to be able to make it to the finals, then good, because trust me, we're also preparing for the Amdari Hackathon 2.0, right? It's coming with more challenges, higher stakes, and bigger audience. And we're going to need the best minds in the room personally. And I want to ensure that you are also there. All right. Amdari is here for you, right? Explore our services, book a clarity session with us, and come and see for yourself. Come and see the experience. Come and see the testimonies that people have actually been saying. All right. All right. So to our judges, to our participants, to our co-founders, to our partners, to the team that actually made this possible, right? To the team that actually put up together this hackathon, to the great minds that actually pulled through sleepless nights, I would say, to ensure that this is actually a reality. So our handsome judges, if I'm allowed to say that, right? Jesse and Abimbola, thank you so much for for showing up. Thank you especially again to our partners, Rich, for for supporting and for buying this our idea and decided to partner with us. And to Epiminium Omomi, thank you so much for showing up today. Thank you guys, and thanks to myself for hosting this whole thing, right? It's not easy to host an event for over 2 hours, right?
Yeah, you did a great job, Fortune. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks to myself, I'll be seeing you guys around. I will remain your friendly neighborhood hacker and cybersecurity professional. Until Amdari 2.0, bye for now.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.